Shalom, Apostle Tahar coming back at you with this truth, giving all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to entitle this, Trump is the End of the World. And this sit down is based on a article. When I woke up this morning, they decided to make Donald Trump, or President-elect Donald Trump, the Person of the Year, Time Magazine's Person of the Year. It says Person of the Year, Time, Donald Trump, President of the divided, keyword divided, states of America. Now, when I came across the word divided, I immediately thought of a bunch of scriptures, which I will read in about another few seconds. But before I read these scriptures, there's another story, and this is, I don't know if this is fake news or not, with this whole fake news thing. But this is from a website called Before It's News. And it says, the headline is, Italy to leave EU as European project collapses. It says, I'm going to read part of the article. It says, Italy looks set to be next in line to leave the EU as the European project spectacularly collapses following the UK's Brexit vote in June of 2016. Italians vote on Sunday in a major referendum that will have huge consequences for their future in Europe. Politicians have warned that an Italian exit from the EU will spark a huge banking crisis and will result in the Italian Prime Minister resigning. And that's all I'm going to read on the article. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the description box. And now I'm going to go into the scriptures. Okay, the first scripture is Daniel 2, verse 41. And it says this, And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom, now that kingdom is the EU, because the prophet Daniel prophesied that there will be a gathering of European nations, which are referred to as the EU, which stands for European Union. And if you keep up with my videos, this is about maybe 6 months ago. There was an article on the UK breaking away from the EU. Which is a Brexit, the British breaking away from the EU. So now, according to this article, and like I said, I don't know if this is a fake news article or not, but according to this article, basically, this is the beginning of the end for the EU. And the prophet Daniel prophesied this. This is why we know that the scriptures, this is the true book, for lack of a better way of saying it, of the Most High, because of the prophecies. It says, Daniel 2, verse 41. It says, And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom, meaning the EU, shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Next scripture is Daniel 5 verse 28. Paris, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Now, you know what? Let me go a verse above that. And this is called the handwriting on the wall. That term, the handwriting is on the wall, came from the scriptures, the book of Daniel, the 5th chapter, when the Babylonian Empire, the Babylonian kingdom was destroyed. The night that it was destroyed, there was they had a feast, and there were a hand came out of nowhere and wrote on the wall well, I'll read it. Okay, I'm going to start at 24. It says, then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written, sent from him, sent from the Most High. 25. And this is the writing that was written. Many tickle up a person or a person. This is the interpretation of the thing. Many. God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel. Thou art weighed in the balance and art found wanting, which means undisciplined. Peres, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. Then commanded Belshazzar, which was the king of Babylon at that time, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put a chain of gold about his neck and made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. 30. In that night was Belshazzar, the king of the Chaldeans, slain, and Darius the Median took the kingdom, being about 62 years old. So it was taken down that very night. It wasn't any ongoing battle that took years before the king of Babylon was taken down. Okay, so let's go back. So you have so-called brothers out there that come into this truth and then they fall off to go back into the world because they don't believe in these scriptures. And this, we're at the time of all these prophecies coming to pass. And I mean, if you're not, looking at these prophecies and filtering them through or filtering these different news articles through the scriptures, then you're going to lose faith. So you brothers out there that fall off, you fall off because of a lack of faith, because you don't see what's going on. I see these prophecies coming to pass, I mean, all over the place. Now let me jump to, we're going to the New Testament. This is Matthew 12 verse 25. And the Messiah knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So America is referred to as the great city, Babylon the Great. So this is a city. So this great city is divided. That's why you have that article of Trump, President-elect Trump, Time Magazine's Man of the Year. It says President of a Divided America. So, I mean, this is a major sign that this has to be the guy to usher in Armageddon. 26 verse, Matthew 12 verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Mark 3 verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Mark 3 verse 26. And if Satan, and the word Satan means adversary or enemy, our enemy, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. So now we know that this word Satan is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about these devils on the earth. Because how can the spiritual demon Satan be divided against himself? It doesn't make any sense. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I can read more scriptures, but I think I hit the point. Anyway, with that, for you, I just wanted to say this, that Apostle Orion Lob had a dream, and this was maybe 2 months ago, but he didn't tell me about it until the other day. And he said that, the brothers were lined up, I guess, at the closing of the camp, and he asked the brothers a question. He said, how many of you out there don't believe in the Lord? And a bunch of them raised their hands. So you have a lot of men that come into this thing because I guess it's the thing to do. But a lot of them don't really believe in these scriptures. And that's evident by, you have the same, and I keep bringing this up, you have the same individuals that are constantly putting out videos. Their faces are constantly on YouTube pushing, this word. And then in the background, you have guys that you rarely ever see on YouTube. Just guys in the background. Well, based upon that observation, the guys in the background are really weak. The scriptures say strong bear the infirmities of the weak, so you got to work with that brother. But if he lacks faith, he's going to fall off. The ones of you that don't know what's going on, and you're just kind of in the crowd, or facing the crowd, and you're not of the elect, scriptures speak of many being called, but few chosen. The Most High always deals with small numbers. You know, the ones of you that are not of the elect, you're going to start falling off. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.